The Expand Pedal Power Battery Kit is the ultimate solution for gigging musicians who rely on pedals to shape their sound, giving you drop-and-go rechargeable power that's always clean, quiet, and reliable.
We're at the mothership. Pete, what should we know about routing?
Routing, well, the brilliance of working with Justin is it's bass on a cable straight into the Ernie Ball volume pedal, which is just brilliant. And then it pretty much just swings the signal flow just swings along the front with a little jump up to the pink pedal that Justin will touch on when he's playing. And then we go into, at the end, Justin's custom pedal that he'll talk about when we get to it. And then that shoots over to the radial and then comes back to the RAT and to the EQ pedal. And the great thing about this pedal board is this is the second version of this giant pedal board. And the great thing about being with Tool is it's almost unlimited space for the backline department to have as big as you want. So if Justin wants this layout, we can have a massive pedal board, and it doesn't, we're not in a van. We're in semi-trucks and in arenas or stadiums. But what we did do this time around was so Justin can get this in his car, I made it so it detaches in the middle.
I see the hinges,
and we can split it, and he can take it for sessions and all sorts of things. Yeah. And we have 2 individual cases for it. And also, EBS just sent us a whole bunch of great cables. These are the gold tipped ones. They're flat, and there was a noticeable difference in the sound and of improvement and stuff. So shout out to EBS.
What are we using for instrument cables?
Instrument cables, it's the Megami.
Yeah, top of the line.
It's fantastic as well, but shout out to the EBS guys.
Yeah, just to mention using the cable, it's not something, it's very common these days. Everyone's wireless, but we've done a lot of experimenting with wireless packs, just literally A-being it, standing there in the studio, and the difference is huge.
Really?
Yeah, there's a spike in the level, clarity, so we just stuck with it because it gives it that little extra kind of, bit of detail to the whole band. Adam does the same thing. So.
Pete, what keeps you up at night with the rig this, I don't want to say complicated, but there's a lot going on. What keeps you up at night, gives you nightmares?
There's certain cities in the world that I know when we go to, there's radio stations that are broadcasting at a high ampage out, and we've got one giant antenna here. So radio frequencies popping up on the pedal in the rig somewhere keeps me up at night. And there's ways to eliminate that, roadie tricks and stuff. And
can you care to divulge, or trade secret? What do you do?
I asked the boss to buy a brand new wild bass, and that eliminated it because the old bass sounded amazing, but it did pick up a lot of RF, even though we were trying to figure out new things. So thank you for buying a new bass.
You're welcome.
And then the next thing is the boss. I think it's the sound.
Noise suppressor.
Noise suppressor pedal. I can engage that. It's not in the loop permanently, but in between songs, if we're picking up a perfect song by name a big band, in between songs, I'll hit that and it gets rid of it. That way the band isn't like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then when they're playing, it's hard to overpower Tool with a radio frequency.
Absolutely. Yeah. One last question. What's going on with the special shielding we got with the Boss pedal here? The bass equalizer, or the Boss equalizer?
I was talking about the...
Yeah.
So as you see, it's got open slots on top. And like we do festivals, it can be rain. It's all types of weather. We're exposed. And so it's just to stop the rain from going in there and the dust, and it keeps it going. It's been there since I started, and Justin's had a lot of great techs work for him over the years. So if it's working, I leave it in place.
And that never changes. That's the set EQ for the dirty cab. So
the slight smile EQ.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well,
never fails.
Justin, let's start this party off. Tell me about your pedals and how you're using them, man.
Well, this is volume right here. Once we got that up, we can go down the line. Tremolo right here. That one's lovely, got a tube in it. It's really warm. It's Gaia tone. And then of course, my trusted whammy pedal. So
I don't want to discount the signature wah fuzz that we'll get to in a minute, but would you say that the bass whammy is kind of your most crucial pedal, based on like you need that to pull it off?
I would say it really helps me do stuff that isn't so bass orientated. Some of the lead stuff I do when Adam holds down the rhythm and lets me go above it. You know, like something like the middle of Schism. So like, that's bypass right there. So that's actually the way I get out of that situation. I've got every pedal on. I can hit this and it bypasses all my effects pedals.
Oh, all right.
So I bypass it, and then over the next verse I can turn everything off and then get back again to my original sound.
Get out of jail card.
Yeah, you can hear the difference. This is like a little static with all the pedals, and then that's a little quieter because it's bypassing them all. But yeah, then the Sounds amp is just an original. It's a distortion. It doesn't sound. It hasn't got so much low end, but it's really nice for some of that higher stuff and some feedback. And a lot of my sound is just the order in which the pedals come. It's almost like a keyboard, you know, the order in which you put the modules together. Each affects each other differently. So I'm just so used to it that it's got. I can play with it almost like a keyboard. If I, you know, mess over here, I know how it affects this.
It's self-aware.
Yeah. Well, it's got and then you know, the Boss pedals, classic chorus, flanger, delay pedal is one of my really, you know, good friends. And again, you can see the classic bit of white tape with all my different marks.
Spare no expense for Tool.
You know, through the show, I'm moving that by hand, just nailing, you know, different little letters there. That'll be Flood, you know, that'll be The Grudge. And yeah, it's got a little, there's a little variation, you know, but it's close enough.
How are you using that different than the Providence delay?
Well, okay, so the Providence is, specifically we started using that for the song Numa.
Oh, okay.
Where the guitar and the bass, we wanted them to just completely sync up the delay. So if we got it on here.
I've experienced that before. Being one of those, like, you know, nobody's out there. I've felt that.
It's cool as well. It's got two settings. So halfway through, when we were recording, we realized that the third verse, I think, Danny introduces the tabla sound, and it always kind of sped up a bit, but we liked it. So we decided that at that point, we go from 113 to 115, which is hardly noticeable, but it's a little bit faster.
So the pedal kind of
So we decided to lock in with Danny's natural flow, and now that's what we do every night. So. And with that pedal, it's always exactly the same for both of us, and the step up is the same as well.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. And then here we've got the Gaia tone, or it's like an auto wah, which is cool. It's like an envelope that opens and closes depending on how hard you hit it. Probably know that from The Grudge.
Yeah, I recognize a lot of these riffs.
Adam gave me that, I think in Japan, and I just fell in love with it. And I've used it on a few records, so that's always, you know, that's pretty much in there. This is, God, what's the name of the maker?
Game Changer.
Game Changer again. It's a sustain pedal, like on a piano. I don't use it very much on this tour, but I've used it on a few songs. But you can kind of grab something when you're moving up. Which is, you can get some interesting effects depending on where you apply it during the movement of your hand. So that's kind of fun. And also it's you know, it's quite a unique pedal, something that does something different. So I was like, I've got a slot there, I'm going to put something interesting in there. And then you know, the mothership right here. And as you see there, this is my signature wah-wah pedal.
It's in
the Dunn
camouflage
made.
because I expected it to be blue.
Do you have the blue one, Pete?
Oh, stand by.
So, yeah, Jimmy Dunlop made a couple of these especially for me in this kind of rusty truck finish, which there are only 4 of, which is very nice to have my own special ones.
Yeah.
Here's the original blue one, which is, you know, anyone else can get. But yeah, I was going to say one of the features is that I put the on-off switch of the distortion down the bottom there, so I can actually kind of use my heel, so I don't have to go all the way to the top to activate something.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's got this little extension on it, so it's almost the same level.
Do you know what the fuzz circuits, is that based on kind of your, I know that for a while you had the Foxstone?
No. It's more the color sound, tone bender.
Oh, the tone bender,
sort
yeah.
of vintage stuff like that.
Okay.
Or like a big muff, you know.
And
we had like everything lined up and we went through everything and listened to them all and we're like, what do you like? And we just kind of, you know, did a blend of that stuff.
And the 2 filter settings, what are those kind of going after?
So the, this is a basic wah-wah. It's more of a traditional wah-wah.
Okay, like a crybaby.
On the top. And then the bottom one is, we called it the UK filter. And it's basically a filter suite kind of based on this sound from the, if I roll all the EQ off this pickup and then add it on this one, it kind of goes from the one to the other. So we kind of based it on that, try to imitate that a little bit. So it's, well, I'd have to do it with my. That was the sort of the inspiration, was that. But we added a little, there's a little dip in the frequency with that one. It's a lot more throaty and warmer than the traditional wah.
Okay.
So when you hit it, you can kind of hear. The other one is it's much higher, perhaps for more like higher lead stuff.
Kind of like Cliff Burton when he, you know.
Right. You can hear it kind of dips when it engages, and then so it's a little more on the lower scale. Yeah.
When we're done with this interview, I'm going to check my pants after that fuzz.
Well, it is brown. That's why maybe the brown one for the brown note, I guess.
I think the 2 that we haven't hit so far, real quick, Justin, is the Rat and the EQ.
Yeah, so the Rat and the EQ, after everything goes from the bass through this, goes to the radial, then it comes back, and one of them goes back through the Rat and the EQ to the dirty cabinet.
Okay.
So basically pedals go all the way through this and through that, so when it's completely clean, the one cabinet still has a little bit of dirt. The EQ brings back some low end. So yeah, that's always on, those 2.
Okay.
And then this is just a little, this is for the end of Pneuma, which again we realized gets a little exciting at the end every time. So the tempo was consistently a little faster on the very last chorus. Yeah. And we're like, well, instead of messing around with, this only has 2 settings. So we were like, let's just chuck another delay in there that's always on that. So that's specifically for the end of Pneuma.
Okay.
Rather than me having to mess with this one or that one or change anything else around. So
you got some pedals here, but then you also have the switcher with stuff that's in the rack.
No, I've never had a switcher before. And I go, what's the easiest way instead of running 18 goddamn pedals together? Let's try to figure this one out. Hardly ever use the tuner, which I don't know why.
You got Bobby here. Bobby's a tuner.
Yeah, man. And
walk me through some of the sounds you got.
This is just a total different thing. That's a dead string, but a real simple sound. Do you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to.
It's fundamental, you know what I mean? Like, it's a bass sound.
And then you have all this. Then we go low.
So that's a sub-octave.
You can't hear the octave. They can out there. It's like, you know, I'll stick the fucking... We used to have some bigger wedges. So
Are you using just the wedges?
I usually kind of slam the bass onto something.
Are you using the wedges, or do you got in-ears when you're actually on stage?
Oh, it's all in-ears.
Okay.
These are for like the Taurus pedals, and then I use side fills for the Taurus. Those are huge.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Now, when you put those through a sub, so it's not too much coming out, even though I can just barely hear them, they'll be loud as fuck, you know, in there. Got a couple of wahs on there used for different songs.
You got, I see some patches here that say delay and chorus, phaser.
Yeah, those are kind of fakes. They're like 5 different sounds that we put on there. We just put that down when y'all were coming in. It's all on the attack.
Yeah.
Hang on.
The RJM.
Little early Van Halen for you kids.
Man, my backside is getting a massage with those cabs.
Yeah,
he can pick and choose wherever he wants,
and it's just such a relief that we can do that, and not everything just goes in line.
Yeah.
It goes in queues, so you're just running through one thing instead of 12.
Yeah.
Or whatever you want, you know. It's all in the attack, man. Simply, that was just nothing on. I'm real happy. Who wouldn't be?
I would, yeah. No one can argue with that. And just to quickly, just so people can see it at home, we got the Chancellor waft.
Justin and I just do this for a little part in. You just gotta hit that right when you see the light turn on.
Yeah.
And you got the baddest sound ever. And once you hear it you notice the array. It's wild, man.
Yeah, what do you got at your feet here?
I've got my Boss TU3. This says Don's tuner.
Yeah.
Because I've got to stay in tune. I can't find a good chorus. I've got a Boss. I had a Boss bass chorus, which kind of sucked. Then I had an old C3, I think, which was, it's just hard to find a good bass chorus because it gets so thin. I've got a Dimension C, which it's kind of working at the moment. I think I bought this for my keyboard player. I mean, I only use it for like, just like little melodic lines.
So very specific parts without...
Yeah, like, I need to find if anyone can help me out with a good bass chorus.
Yeah.
I need something that has body, because like, you just lose it so much. But, and then the OC2, I used to have the DODs, which were my favorite.
Yeah.
But my childhood one died, I got another one, it was faulty. This is cool, and I just use this for a lot of doubling, so. So just a little color, and there's a nice...
It'd be hard to take that off. That's because it's not overbearing. It's...
No, I mean, it's for another song. I've only got one octave going, because you got to... I'm careful not to fight it out too much.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot more noticeable.
Yeah, so that's you can get away with it if you back it off a bit, but yeah, that's kind of, don't really use. I mean, it's without sounding like a wanker, like the toner's all in here, so I'm really into. Ooh.
Surprised you don't like a compressor pedal.
I hate compression.
Really?
Yeah, if I have my wedge, I'm like, oh man, because I like all the subtlety. Like, my pick's gone, but I do lots of. So I'll get varying degrees of, where you put the pick.
Yeah.
Like the Steve Swallow thing. And then, and then of course, so there's like, it's not rocket science, but 3 different sounds, 3 different positions. That's kind of enough for me. Like, I think putting anything else in there, I even find it like distracting enough, like doing that.
And you're singing.
That is all, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a task in itself.
Singing and tour managing and thinking about that while I'm singing. It's too much. But it's I just try and keep everything as simple as possible, and like enjoy playing and like the singing and bass playing parts.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy enough in itself, but yeah, I mean, I wish I didn't have to sing, but I'm the person.
Yeah, you kind of fell into the singing based on kind of like how that experiment started, right?
Yeah, and I'm not a great singer, but I'm a good bass player, so that makes up for it.
No, you brought it up real quick. Can you show people how you bend? Because it is something that is so crucial to your kind of signature sound.
It's really just inspired by Albert King and stuff. Or without it. Just blues stuff inspired by Albert King, that's all.
It's a cool way that it's cross-pollinating. The blues that's always kind of rooted in your music and the soul music, but then kind of wherever you want to take it. And it goes to what you're, the way that the instrument's flipped is that the thinner strings are up top, so you can bend the hell out of those suckers, baby. And then to really get the pitch shifting going, people.
The whammy?
Yeah, the whammy. Is that something you've always had on your rig?
I've used it. I started using it when I was playing with Prince because I saw how he was using it and stuff, and I saw his just swag with it, so I just kind of adapted it. But I've always had one when I was playing with David Fuginski and stuff. But when I started playing with Prince, he put the whammy on my pedalboard. They built me at Paisley Park, and I just started to embrace it a lot more just being around him. So yeah, my use of the whammy pedal came from David Fuginski and Prince.
Yeah. Those are 2 names that are, household names that are, you get to play with those. That's special. Yeah. On the whammy, can you maybe explain how you're using that, or not explain, but show the people how you're using that and how you're kind of manipulating the different
I use the 1 octave up preset on here. And I use it like all the time. It's always on, and I use it when I'm like doing like licks and stuff so it can cut through. Stuff like that, or whatever. I don't know.
And then what's the silver box next to here?
It's like a ring bar. I just turn that on anytime I just want to feel weird or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so there's not like, it's for this part of this song. It's just like whenever you're.
No, everything I do is really just in the moment. Yeah. I really don't try to plan too much stuff, but yeah. And that's not really the setting I'm gonna use. I just let shit happen. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the next 2 boxes to the right,
that's my fart. That's my fart pedal. Yep.
We heard that.
Yep. Okay, that's enough of that. And that's the fuzz. Yep, it's just intuitive, bro. I don't know.
Man, I'm just inspired, but I'm also in awe of like just how you were creating things on the fly, and it's really special to see it.
Hey y'all, I'm John Bohlinger with Premier Guitar. So our rig rundowns for a long time now have been sponsored by D'Addario. And I'm thrilled to be using the D'Addario Expand Pedalboard. I've got this little guy that fits in my gig bag, and like many of you, I'm changing pedals all the time. I love having a board that can shrink as I'm shrinking my board or expand as I'm expanding it. And that's why I love the Expand Pedalboard. Their patented telescoping technology lets me instantly change the size of my pedal's playground. It also features a unique cable management system and comes fitted with loops of Velcro, keeping everything neat and easy to swap. The 2 Expand versions comes with either 1 or 2 rows depending on your needs. So a big thanks to D'Addario. Now, let's get back to more rig rundowns.
Well, walk us through your pedal board here.
Yeah, so I got obviously a tuner. I have a Pog.
How are you using that?
So I use it for 2 things. There's one moment in the set where I like really shred, and I have the octave up. So I'm like basically like doing a guitar solo almost like on the bass, and then I have like, so that's the main reason for that, the octave pedal.
Okay.
And then I also have a big muff, so like basically I'll kind of hit both, and I'll go like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like stuff like that, so I can really like pretend like I'm a guitar player for like 2 seconds. But on bass, it's really cool. I think it's cool. And then, and I also have a moment where I have it as like a sub-octave. Where I use it just
switch the settings?
Yeah, I'll switch the settings in
Okay.
the middle of the show, where I'll just have it as a sub-octave, and it's a cool effect and kind of like changes the vibe for a quick second. So yeah, that, then I have the big muff obviously for a lot of moments, just to get the crunch in there. Classic.
And is that a guitar big muff, sorry, or is
No,
that
it's a bass big
okay.
muff. Yeah, it's my favorite distortion. It's so sick, and it's just simple. Like I don't like crazy like. I just haven't gotten to that era of using a lot of crazy pedals yet, especially for live. Like I just love the sound of like clean bass tone. So I'll only have these for some specific moments. Like I think the big muff is just classic. And a distortion is needed, but like I don't have much, you know, the Pog I use for like 1-2 moments in the whole entire show. And then this is for one song, this, the Earthquaker Devices, which are really sick pedals. I love all the Earthquaker Devices pedals. And for one song, I had this kind of like Mutron sounding pedal.
Which is funny because you have a Mutron,
Yeah, I have a
but you
Mutron.
said off camera that you don't use it, you prefer the EQD.
Yeah, so I got this Mutron pedal because I wanted that exact sound. Like one of the records, I have a song with Chromeo, and they have like the OG Mutron pedal, and we used it for the song called Enough For You. That's the bass line I was just playing. And I was like, I really want that pedal, like that's sick, but it's kind of giant. I was like, I need something to fit on my board.
How big is your board?
Yeah, I was like, I need something to fit on my board. So I got this, which is like the remake. And I just don't like it as much as this Earth. It just hits different, and it kind of like cuts out. I don't know. I just maybe haven't like figured it out yet, like the exact settings. But I just think this one like feels good. It's just like cool. I don't know.
It's very vocal the way that.
Yeah, and like I like the. You know, if you hit it harder, obviously it opens up more. You know, you get all that like sort of, and it's literally 3 knobs. Like I just like simple.
Yeah.
I don't want too much. You know what I mean? And then I have a chorus for like literally 1 moment in the set. You know, so.
And there's a space echo just dedicated to the guitar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the car, but it's on my bass pedal board, so make it easy. But yeah, literally like I don't have like a compression pedal or anything. Like I just clean.
Why no compression? Especially for the snap and the pop and.
Yeah, I mean, I in the house did it, like my you know, audio engineer adds it. But I think for me, like on stage and in my ears, like I just want to hear exactly what I'm playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't want anything. Like I just want to hear the sound of like my fingers on just me. You know what I mean?
And you can almost self-regulate that based on
exactly.
how you attack it.
Exactly. Like I say, like compression's like in the fingers. You know, it's not like in the pedal. You know what I mean? Like I just like want to. You know what I mean? Like I want to like be able to play with dynamics and not have that affected by.
There's a lot of pedal makers that are going to disagree with that comment.
I know. I feel maybe don't put that in.
No, we are. We're going to keep it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's just maybe I will get into a compression pedal.
That's a very nuanced playing
also,
style.
everything I'm saying is just like my opinion. Like it's not, you know, just how I play.
Have you been on the internet? It's loaded full of opinions.
It's a lot of opinions, yeah. So it's just my opinion, but I stick true to it, you know. But it's also me, you know. Whoever's playing the instrument, like they have their own thing. That whatever makes you feel most comfortable on stage. But that's my thing.
Let's talk about your pedal board.
Well, I mean, this is a mixture of store-bought stuff and stuff that I've made. This pedal right here is a distortion unit that I've made, and this was actually my backup. The main one is on my other pedal board, but they're all kind of, this one doesn't quite sound the same, and over the years I've tried to eliminate that from my setup. In other words, I get a really good sound and I'm like, okay, that sounds good, now let's just hear what this sounds like when this, and it always sounds better. So this is my own thing. It's like my secret recipe, and I've never really let the cat out of the bag on what it really is. But this is
total mystery.
The tinkerer in me, the geek, the electronics geek in me is all about this. And I will say this: it sort of started off as roughly a wah-wah pedal. It started as a wah-wah pedal, and it became a distortion pedal. And it's
great.
You know, it's required a soldering iron and a few other things to get it to where it is right now. So that's my own special distortion pedal, and this is just an AB box that you can see I don't use this button. I'll put zip ties on whatever I don't use, but I'm ready to use it. And it's got an out, so it's like when this is off, it's just the clean amp. When this is on, it's both amps. So I leave it on all the time, and if this one were on, I would have something coming out of here and going into a third head, and I'm actually in search of another 210. They make it a 210-inch cabinet version of this, and I can't wait to find one, but I can't find them anywhere.
Then all you people in the interwebs, if you have one of those, hit them, put in the comments
seriously,
section.
man, I'll buy it off you. I'll buy it off you. It's called a Ampeg PR 210H. I'm looking for one, and then I would bring another head into this band and actually evolve the sound a little bit. So I'm waiting for that. So anyways, that's my AB box, and then I have this little line driver, which I've been using. I've used this one for years, and it works great. And all it does is drive this pedal a little bit more. This pedal's not quite loud enough without it. So like this just gives it a little bit more volume, and it makes it fit where I need it to fit, like in the sound. And I've been using the orange, I forgot what it's called, the orange, it's like 4-stroke pedal or something. It's their driver pedal, which works really great, and I might actually bring it into this pedal board eventually. And so there's that, and then I use this multi-comp EBS compressor, which is super cool because it's got like a few settings here. It's got like a tube simulator setting and a multi-band setting and a normal setting, and so you decide which setting that you want per what kind of bass you're using, and then it's 2 knobs, so it's real easy, and it's got an internal adjustment a little bit, so you can do a couple little things internally, but it's real simple to use, and it works real good, and I like it, and it just evens everything out for me, and I've been using it a lot and digging it. And then this I just used for my in-ears for this band. This is the Ampeg SCR DI, which really works great to even plug it into just to use it. I've used it through my setup, and it does sound great, but I have a hard time with like a lot of knobs and things like that can get turned from chords and stuff like that. So I just use it for my in-ears, and it sounds awesome. Like in my ear, it sounds really great. And the way we set up where the amp is real close to me, I hear the amp still, and I also hear the in-ears, and it's just this really great blend of both that I get the optimum sound. And this, again, this is for my vocals. This TC Helicon thing, and it's just a little preamp, for vocals, and it sounds really good. It's got some like slap back delay and some different things on it. And it's got this auto tune feature right here, and I just want to show you that I don't use that. It's not on. So I don't really like that too much. And then I got this from the Dunlop guy came, and I use the regular Dunlop bass wah-wah pedals and have used them for years. And he came and said, "Hey dude, have you tried the little tiny one? And it looks like it's made for a baby's foot, and my foot is definitely not a baby's foot, but it works really good. It's different than a regular bass wah. It's got a different sweep on it. It sounds really cool, and I like it. And I use it just for feedback. With Walkrat, we do a lot of our music is born from feedback. That's what I like to think. To me, feedback is a very, it's an interesting thing. It's when the output becomes the input. And to me, it's political. Like I look at it in a oddly enough, in like a political sense. It's like dropping bombs on a country, and then people get angry and they fight back, and it's a circular argument, and that's what feedback is. And so this thing for me is just a way to assault the audience with feedback and teach them about feedback
Yeah.
And feedback used to be called the Larson effect. Before it was called feedback. This guy Larson is the one who like figured it out. And
Really?
And so I teach people about the Larson effect, and I show them what it is, and I tell them what I think it's kind of like, and it's a big part of our set, and it's a part of our music, and I love it. And, you know,
That is very cool.
it's pretty neat. And this other guy, another guy, dude, Dr. Boner of all names, he like took feedback to another level and said like, well, if the input is a little bit louder than the out, or the output's a little bit louder than the input and it goes back in, that's really what causes it. And he's the guy that invented oscillators, and then keyboards were invented. So feedback is at the root of not just music and great music, but also at the root of, as far as I'm concerned, of war and politics and vendetta.
Yeah, that's cool. This has turned into a very interesting interview.
That's crazy that is. So that's that. That's all that. That's my feedback maker. And then this is just an AB box that, you know, I don't even know if that one. Oh yeah, that works. So that one, you know, just I can mute my bass with that, and that's it. And this pedal board is on all the time.
All the time.
Got a direct box pre, and there should be a post direct box, but I think it's at the mixing board. So like if everything goes down, then I still have my bass is still going into the direct first before it goes to the pedal board, and then there's one that comes after the pedal board. So if the amp goes down, I still have my effects and, you know, that kind of thing. But it's pretty simple. It really is a pretty simple effects pedal board, and I'm really psyched that I don't ever have to turn anything on or off.
Right.
It's just
you
know, out of sight, out of mind. It's there, but I don't got to do anything to make it work. You know?
Yeah, because your tone, I mean, the way with all those really abrupt stops and the time signature change, your tone is really punchy, which I think it's got to be. So it's like, I can see like once you got it dialed in, you wouldn't want to jack it. Yeah.
But like I said, I would love to get that other 210-inch cabinet and then bring another head in for like a full-on overdrive sound.
Right.
Like I think that would be cool to have another level of overdrive for this band. And with the Profits, that's what I do. I use 3 heads and 3 cabinets for that reason. You know?
Okay, so that's the goal of this rundown. Who's ever got that cabinet,
PR 210H Ampeg, give me a call.
Leave it in the comments. We'll get it to him.
Yeah, I would love to get my hands on one of those.
Yeah.
I assumed we were going to have a bunch of pedal boards that we're going to like rotate around, but you kind of have it all pretty concise for what you do.
This is pretty tight.
So walk us through kind of what you got here and how you use it.
Yeah, sure. So let me take this off. So I used to have, when this was the biggest it ever was, I think I had 3 boards. And there was a lot of tap dancing, a lot of bending over and adjusting things, making a loop, bending over, adjusting things, making a loop. You know, I got a bad back. So Bob Bradshaw built me this controller. It's a MIDI controller. And it's made my life way easier, because what happens is I'll hit a button here and a bunch of stuff changes over here. So I program it for each part of each song.
Oh, right.
And it's numbered, so that, like, for example, I just hit number 1. That's the first part of this particular song. And I go to number 2, boom, a bunch of stuff changes over here. So just with one pedal click, I'm essentially clicking with 4 pedals, let's say. And then, but it's not affecting the looping at all. The looping isn't involved with MIDI. So I have to do the looping over here. And then I have a few, let's say, I guess 3 pedals. The Governor, this little boost pedal, and the Super Ego by Electro Harmonics that are not affected by this. So I just have to do those manually.
Oh, all right.
And the tuner too. My signal chain is, starts at the tuner. And then it runs, I think, to the Super Ego, the Line 6 M9, which has been really helpful for me because there's just so many effects in there.
I'm sure, cut down a lot of pedals.
Yeah. And there's some great stuff in there that I would have never known I wanted until I had it. And like, oh. And now I can't, there's a lot of songs I can't play without it. So anyway, M9 to the Strymon Timeline. And then I think next is the first Boomerang looping pedal. Then the whammy pedal.
Yeah, okay, so why is that?
Okay, so I can build up a loop. Say there's 4 parts in a looper. So say it's the verse of a song. Then I can hit the whammy pedal and take the entire thing down a second, let's say, or a third.
Oh, so
I'm changing the key of the song with the whammy pedal.
Nice.
And then we go from there. Actually, I think this governor distortion and this boost pedal are ahead of that. But anyway, so then the last pedal is the second boomerang looper. So that's because if I want to do crazy stuff with the whammy pedal, it'll just record that or loop that, but not change the entire
Yeah, because there's definitely songs where you're using, I guess that's where I hear it, and that you multiple pitch shiftings happening, and I'm like, how's that happening? But you're looping it, and then you have that routing and kind of almost manipulating everything that happened before it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's it.
Now, why the timeline versus, I don't want to, slight the line 6 delays that are in there because they're heralded for the DL4, but why the timeline?
Because, one, because it's MIDI controlled. Well, the M9's MIDI controlled too, but the main thing, there's just sounds in there that I can't get with the M9, and vice versa, by the way. But there's some songs where my delay needs to be super, super accurate because I'm doing like dotted eighth notes or something. And with the Strymon, you can dial in the milliseconds. Whereas with the M9, you're just kind of ballparking it, hoping you get close. So the accuracy of the Strymon is really a winning part of why I want that pedal. And then just the sounds. There's sounds in there that I've never heard anywhere else that are, I mean, some of them are probably emulating old lexicons or something, but it just sounds so good.
And what do you use the Super Ego for? Because that kind of has multifunction use too.
Yeah, so what I use it for is something I've never heard anybody else use it in this way. I mean, maybe somebody has, but I'll demonstrate it for you.
Yeah, I was going to say, with that kind of prelude, I feel like we need...
It's probably better to show than to tell. That Super Ego really kind of changed my life, not to be too dramatic. I use it, the last couple of records I probably used it a little too much because it was so exciting. But, okay, so the way I have it set here, there's different settings on here, but the way I have it set is, if you press down, I'm muted, right? Mm-hmm. So if I hit a note and let my foot off and then press it down again, it's gonna sustain that note, so. Okay, now it's just gonna hold that. Now, just so you can hear me, while that's sustaining, I can play a new note. You won't hear it, but if I let my foot off and put it down again, it's going to bend to that new note. Okay.
Ooh, so yeah, do that.
Here's the first one. Here's the second note. You can't hear it, right? But here we go. It's incredible.
It's Wales mating.
It totally is. I love that so much, and I've never heard somebody use it on a record. I don't think. In the comments, if you know someone who's done that, please
when
tell
you're
me.
done making fun of me, tell us about Kristian here. Now, could you show us real quick, now that you get the instrument back, on how you do the whammy into the looper and then
sure.
Just because I think that's something I've never seen before.
Okay, so let's say I just have a simple bass line, right? Like, let me unplug something real quick.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, no, I love being put on the spot. Okay, so let's say I have a bass line. Okay, and then just something simple. Right. Now that's only on this looper because it's in front of the whammy. Mm-hmm. This looper, if I do something nothing. But I could record a whammy part on top of that.
Yeah. See, I feel like that's something you might use in You Are Enough, like something where,
yes,
we're
exactly.
double whammying.
Yeah, I can show you that if you want. Thanks for knowing our song names.
Now, as you get this set up, have you always had the two boomerangs with the whammy in the middle, or is that something that's kind of evolved?
It hasn't always been boomerangs. I started with the Boss RC20s. They weren't quite accurate enough. They take it's probably milliseconds to get the loop going. So I found myself having to play ahead a little bit. And then I think the next one was the Digitech Jam Man. Those were super accurate, but they don't last on the road. They just start to fall apart, literally. So, and then I think Boomerang was the one I found. I mean, I tried a bunch. To be honest, I even got some for free and didn't use them because they just weren't good enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, so You Are Enough is, I'll show you. So I start You Are Enough looping. So now that that's going, I can go on top of it. And I keep adding stuff onto it, so.
Well, right on.
The satisfaction of finishing your pedal board for the 38th time.